Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to the virtual Talladega Superspeedway for tonight's production of PGR Thursday Night Heat Money Racing. We are about halfway through qualifying right now. You'll see the times flash across the left side of your screen while I'm getting you set up here for yet another night of great racing tonight. My name is Dawson Wise. We're bringing this to you on the Ghost Racing Network. I'm in for Austin once again this week. You're going to see him on track tonight. We'll maybe get to talk to him a little bit later on as these guys get their qualifying times and we get set for our LCQ. We are going to be sending one driver home tonight. We'll get to that in just a few minutes. Just briefly, here's qualifying wraps up. In the booth with me tonight, you know him, you love him, race controller tonight as well, Mr. Matthew Baker. Baker, how you doing?
Good, man. Really excited to watch this new, well, not so much new, but new damage model for this Xfinity car. A little bit of a mix-up from PGR, going back to what the roots of PGR was. We used to do Xfinity cars before we moved to the trucks when they got the new damage model. And the last couple of days, people have been putting in the work, seeing what the new update has to offer with the draft package, and it seems like it's good racing. Hopefully we get to see that product. You know, you're not going to see it too much in the LCQ since you only have one going home, but I think in the future you're going to really see this car shine.
Yeah, I think you will. And he said it. We are back in the Xfinity Series cars tonight, the B-Class cars here on iRacing, and boy, I am excited. I love these cars. I say it every time I get to broadcast a race with these cars. Selfishly, they are my favorite. The trucks are a close second, but these cars certainly take the cake for me. I cannot wait to see what these guys put on track tonight. A lot of the heavy hitters are back as usual. We'll get to talk about them a little bit later on as you see times come across the screen. These guys putting in their last efforts here to try to make the feature. We were giving them 2 laps tonight, and in this car it's a little bit different in qualifying. You'll see them run 2 instead of 1. A lot of guys you'll see run 1, and then you won't see another time flash across. These guys will try it in 1, but they do have 2 to work with. Pretty good times to the top of the charts right now. You see Austin Green, 8th on the charts right now. He's going to be in the feature, it sure looks like to me. We'll see what everybody else puts up here. Just a little bit left in qualifying. Guys getting their final times in. And we're going to get our LCQ rocking and rolling tonight. It's going to be, as far as my count, 14 cars running that LCQ for 13 spots. So one person will not make the trip to the feature tonight. Qualifying over. Kevin Freese has the pole. We'll talk about him a little bit later on. But first, we're going to get into our last chance qualifier race. And what better way to start than with your starting grid for this first heat race. And on the pole for that race is a brand new name to PGR that I have not seen before, and that is Jesse Sperling in the 51. A time of 54.276. Not enough to get him in the show, but it does get him on the pole for the last chance qualifier race. To his outside, going to be William Fox in the 26. Bo Tiffany starts in 3rd, another new name that I have not seen yet to this point. To his outside, Michael Clay in the 33. Mike Davenport for PGR rolls from 5th with Dylan Blackwell to his outside in the 4. Sierra Clampert rolls from 7th. Danny Barnes, a teammate of Mike Davenport for PGR, rolling from 8th position. Tracy Walker rolls from 9th tonight. With John Ward of McCullough Motorsports, a big name in this LCQ race, he'll roll from the 10th position. And we'll scroll this for you a little bit further. Christian Sanford, a couple of PGR wins to his name since his return. He'll roll from 11th. Dylan Jones, the man who always seems to win these LCQ races. See if he can do it yet again tonight. He'll roll from 12th. Last 2 in the LCQ field are Chris and Kenny McCullough. So some big names and only 13 spots to give them. We'll see if these big names, heavy hitters, can make their way into the feature race. It's going to be 15 laps as usual. I think we're waiting on a couple of cars to take to the grid, and then we will be ready to rock and roll. There we go. Our 14-car field is on the racetrack. And boy, I am excited. It's going to be a great night. Xfinity Series cars on the track for the first time in a long time. And these guys are ready to put on a show. Field rolling off the grid. Got some big names in this LCQ. Got some new names in this LCQ. Notably Jesse Sperling, Bo Tiffany, and Tracy Scott. So we're going to see what they can get done alongside what is turned out to be a pretty stacked field. And wow, we're going to see who ends up going home out of this 14-car field as these guys get ready to lock and load. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Got quite a crowd here for Thursday night heat. And so we'll get ready to put them under the green flag for the first time. Everybody chime in. If you're supporting a driver, let them know. These guys love to hear it. They love to see it when they go back and watch. I know a lot of guys that like to see the support they get. I know we got a lot of people supporting certain drivers tonight. So cheer for them as we get underway here. And get ready to get what is going to be another great night underway. It's a hot track, I'll tell you that much. About 130 degrees last I checked. And I'll tell you, when we were testing these cars last night after the update yesterday, they were getting hot in a hurry, which used to be a problem. They took it away, at least alleviated it for a little bit, but it is back in a big way. We were getting hot fast, so that's going to be a problem in this race. It's going to be a problem in the big race here in just a little bit. And so we will see how that is going to affect these guys as we get going. Jesse Sperling with the field in hand. Coming off of turn number 4 for the first time. Getting ready to put us under the green flag for the first time tonight. Pace car takes the hard left. 13 out of the 14 in this field are going to make the feature. One person, unfortunately, will have to go home tonight. But it will be a full 43-car field. Who's going to make it? Who's not going to be so lucky? We're about to find out. Jesse Sperling brings the field into the restart zone for the first time. Waiting on that flag, man. Green flag is in the air. We are underway in the last chance qualifier event.
I think you're really going to see the bottom side here dominate early. Everyone's trying to get used to this new car that you can push through the corners a little bit, and you can definitely push the pusher. But once those temps start to go on the bottom side, look for the top to start really coming in.
Yeah, going to be a lot different racing than you're used to if you've been tuning into Thursday Night Heat or Tuesday Night Thunder, or a lot of the stuff we've been seeing, at least a lot of the stuff I've been involved with. These cars don't get pulled out a lot much anymore. But tonight, certainly a good night to test them out, give them a run. William Fox from the outside to the race lead in turns 3 and 4. John Ward already looking to the outside with the help of Chris and Kenny McCullough a little further back. Trying the third line. Boy, they went awfully early, and as hot as these guys are going to get, they're going to have to hope it works pretty quickly. Christian Sanford with them as well. Blackwell's going to go around in the trial. We'll collect Mike Davenport. Trouble a little further back. We're piling them up early here in the LCQ.
There it is. That's the product of this new package. You can push through the pusher, but it really gets unstable. And this looks like John Ward gets into the back of the car. He comes into the outside lane, and then everyone's just wrecks from there.
Certainly looked that way to me as well. And you said it. You got to get used to racing this car again, and we'll see if we can get a little better angle of this one coming into the trial. Well, Dylan Blackwell wanted to jump out in front of John Ward. They had a huge run coming behind him. And as he goes to step out of line, John Ward goes to give him a hit. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a little off-center, actually. There is some contact between the 92 and the 4. It's the 4 a little out of shape as he tries to collect it. Unfortunately, may get a little bit of help. I'm not sure. It looks a little odd right there. And the 4 is going to collect Mike Davenport. They're going to collect a couple of others through the trial. Oh, boy, Davenport slides all the way back across, collects John Ward, collects Kenny McCullough. Chris McCullough is involved in this as well as Tracy Scott, Danny Barnes. So several big names involved in this one very, very early on. Chris McCullough is in it as well as Dylan Jones. A lot of big, heavy names in this one. And an early setback, certainly for those guys. We get back to live action here. Just one quick look at that one for this LCQ race. Pretty cut and dry incident in the tri-oval that's the product of these B-class cars. Certainly more of a finesse act you're going to have to see tonight, whereas in the trucks you can line up and kind of just hammer the back bumper of the guy in front of you and move your line forward. Tonight, you have to be a lot more precise about when you square up. Now, what I've noticed, and we'll get to talking about this hopefully a little later on as well, and I'll get to show you some examples in the feature race a little easier than we can here. You can square up and push a little harder than you used to. At least that was our experience in the race I ran last night in these cars, is if you square it up just right, you can propel that person forward, whereas in the old build of these cars, anytime you got close enough to hit them, if you hit them too hard, it shot them to the left, shot them to the right, got them all out of shape. You had to more what we call arrow push. And so we'll see if that comes into play a little later. We'll see if we can get a good example of these guys maybe pushing a little bit harder That's what I've noticed. I've also heard that these cars are darting out a little more than usual. So I don't know, maybe a mixed bag of what we're going to get tonight. But all in all, you still have to be very, very, very precise. And we saw it come back to bite these guys just a little bit right there. Maybe a little too used to running the trucks. And being able to just kind of jump up in front of a run, and that guy can just drive straight through the back of you. And unfortunately, in these cars, that is no bueno. That does not work, and we saw it right there.
Yeah, absolutely. It just looked like Blackwell came up with no real intention to keep the line moving, more to block the run, and you can't really do that when you're 4 to 5 mile an hour below. But that's just learning this new car, learning the way the tandem works if two cars are hooked up. I mean, Jones had nowhere to go on the back bumper Ward, and he couldn't see, so you can't really pin that on the two cars in the back. More of a racing deal than anything, but unfortunate nonetheless.
Unfortunate indeed, in an early incident here in our last chance qualifier race, as we are well underway here, pacing on lap number 3. It's going to be 12 laps to go, and we get the 1 to go signal. We'll put these guys back under the green flag. These guys do have a fast repair, just like they do in the feature race, so everybody you saw that was involved in that wreck can get right back out on the racetrack. Although, I will say, just as in the trucks, the new damage features here for these cars, you can repair a considerable amount of damage the same way you can as the trucks. It's not that extreme from what I've noticed, but you can fix more than you used to. That's going to come into play tonight, certainly, for guys that maybe get in a wreck but don't want to use that fast repair, where in the old P cars, the old Xfinity Series machines, you would be forced to take a fast repair. It's just, you could not fix those cars. You could not fix much in those cars, I should say. Whereas now, you can fix a lot, and I did last night. And so we'll see how what the limit is going to be. Certainly is, these guys only have one fast repair, but maybe a little bit more of a second chance. You see, actually, Tracy Scott opting not to use the fast repair. No rear bumper cover on that 43 machine. So we'll see how that fares on this restart. And on the restart, going to be William Fox, Michael Clay on your front row. Sierra Clampert has made her way through the field. She's on row 2 with Jesse Sperling, our pole sitter in this race. Bo Tiffany still in a good spot to make the show. The transfer spot right now, we go to Dylan Jones. And first guy out would be John Ward. And what a storyline that would be in the first night back in the Xfinity cars if John Ward misses the show. Obviously, a long ways to go. And of anybody in this field, John Ward certainly knows the right move to go and get it done. So expect the 92 to be making moves with the help of several McCullough Motorsports drivers in this field, as well as Dylan Jones and a couple other guys, a couple other of the big names that want to make the show here in just a little bit. Going to be 11 laps to go when we get back under the green flag. In just the same fashion as last week, technology not working tonight as usual. And so we'll have a ticker for you in the feature event. But right now, just going to have to stay with me. Only 14 cars on track. It's not that hard to keep up with. And I feel like I've talked about everyone. So we'll get a rundown on everyone a little bit later, let you know where they're running. For now, though, pace car back down to pit road. And we're going to put these guys back under the green flag. William Fox leads for the first time tonight with a couple of PGR newbies behind him. Let's see what they can do on this restart. Into the restart zone they come. Waiting on that flag, man, all the way down at the end of the zone. Green flag is back in the air once again with 11 laps to go in the last chance qualifier race.
Good push on the bottom. It kind of looks like the top got a little more organized. You saw Blackwell drop to the bottom. Going to try and play it safe after causing an incident up front. Try and just, bide his time before he can get to this checker flag. But you're going to see the people in the back try and start to mix it up, build that run up, and get up front.
Well, none other than Kenny McCullough Jr., Chris McCullough. They're both on their way to the front in a hurry. And they are here. Kenny McCullough just outside the top 5 in this last chance qualifier race. Christian Sanford stuck up top. Oh, almost an incident a little further back. Danny Barnes bounces off the Tracy Scott machine and goes for a slide. Still sliding is the 7 for PGR. He's going to maybe save it. He does. But unfortunately, will lose the draft. He's going to need a yellow flag. And a tough break. You saw it at the very tail end of your screen. Contact between Tracy Scott in the 43 and Danny Barnes in the 7. Up top. Here come the McCulloughs. Kenny and Chris up against the wall, testing the third line. You can do it with less cars. than you have to in the trucks. Usually you have to have 3 to make it work. In the Xfinity cars, you definitely can make it work with 2. So it's going to be a big change tonight. You need less energy to get a run going in the outside line. As William Fox continues to lead down the back straightaway. They've kind of stalled out up in the top lane, and I don't know if it's temperatures or if it's just the way they can't get a run going. That bottom is 4 cars deep and moving. Middle line right now is Michael Clay and Sierra Clampert. Off turn 4, the McCulloughs take another stab at it. Here come Davenport, Ward, and Christian Sanford a little further back at the line. 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Kenny McCullough.
McCullough getting a good push from his cousin there on the outside lane. They're 3x3. You get a little bit of a drop off there in the bottom lane. A slot in, great move there from the middle line. It's going to hang that middle, and only 1 car is going to be tucked up. We're going to see if you're going to have a little bit more support, but Kenneth is going to get clear. Maybe Chris can get clear as well. Big move to the top side as well.
Yeah, that was Christian Sanford making it work up in the outside line. Gets up in front of John Ward. Outside's got a lot of energy all of a sudden in the form of McCullough, Sanford, Ward. Now Blackwell goes up there as Dylan Jones fades back to the inside. William Fox continuing to lead this last chance qualifier race. An impressive effort out of the driver of the 26 for OSM. His 2 teammates are already in the field. Certainly would love the help of the 26 as they run right now. Everybody in this pack is in if they wanted to just play it safe. But something tells me the glory and the money on the end of this LCQ race is going to lead these guys to race for a little bit more than just a transfer spot. Oh, bit of a miscommunication there between Kenny and Chris McCullough as the middle line got rolling big time. As Kenny, John Ward, Dylan Blackwell, Michael Clay a little further back, got it rolling. And this is exactly what William Fox wants to see. Sierra Clamper gets hit out of line. Can she get it?
My goodness, what a save!
Wow, Sierra Clamper, unbelievable save by the driver of the 29, and this is going to get really interesting now because the 43 Tracy Scott, the 13 of Danny Barnes, that's exactly what they wanted to see. Actually, Barnes is going to fight it out with Tracy Scott, so Sierra is going to be fine as long as she stays right where she is, at least for the next several laps. So she just has to keep logging laps and stay in it, as Danny Barnes, I believe, is going to catch the damaged machine of Tracy Scott, who has lost the pace of the draft. So it's going to be a battle for the transfer spot here in a couple of laps. Back up front, getting a little bit wild. Kenny McCullough to the race lead. John Ward to the outside now, getting pushed by Dylan Blackwell. Dylan Jones, Chris McCullough up there as well. Sanford trying to make his way back to the front. William Fox all over the back of the 0-3 as they head down the back straightaway. And this is something you're going to see more tonight, too. Look at how much these cars are bobbling down the straightaway, just moving back and forth. These cars do not drive as well as the trucks do, and certainly they're going to be hindered a little bit tonight by a very, very hot racetrack, and you're going to see this in the feature as well. Just look down the straightaway right here and take a second. Look at how much these guys are moving. Even the guys we expect to be pretty steady when it comes to staying in line, even they're having some trouble as this hot racetrack and this loose race car continue to contribute to that. John Ward to the lead. Blackwell challenging him back into 1.
And don't look now, but Danny Barnes makes the pass for the transfer spot. It looks like Tracy has a little bit of damage. Now Danny Barnes moves into that last transfer spot. Tracy's going to come down pit road.
Yeah, and I think Tracy realized pretty quickly on the restart that that car was not going to make it to the end, at least stay up to speed and make it to the end. So deciding to throw in the towel, perhaps come down to pit road or come get a fast repair, hope for a caution, as these guys are getting a little antsy up front. John Ward continuing to lead, but it's getting a little bit more intense. We're going to put 5 laps to go on the board when we get back to it. Dylan Blackwell getting a nice healthy push from Dylan Jones. Dylan and Dylan show in the middle line. Chris McCullough there as well. Mike Davenport takes a look to the outside, but nothing doing there. Waiting for some help. Bo Tiffany wanted to make it happen. Excuse me, that's not Bo Tiffany. He's on the bottom of the Valvoline machine. It's Michael Clay in the Earnhardt-inspired 3 machine, actually the 33 in the race entries tonight. John Ward, oh boy, I don't know if that was a push or if maybe he just kind of washed up a little bit off turn number 2, but almost a big moment there for the 92. Driving the 92, McCullough all over his back bumper. This is a big push, but middle is able to hang in there tough. As Dylan Blackwell, Dylan Jones, Chris McCullough look to get that middle line wound up once again, and Davenport's got some help. Whoa, Blackwell pulling to the outside. These guys are really struggling with handling. You can tell it is a struggle out there. It's going to be tough, and it's only going to get harder when you put 43 cars out there 3 wide I can only imagine how fast they're going to get 3 wide tonight. And Blackwell takes the lead. Back down into 1 and 2. We're getting antsy though. 3 wide a lot of the way back as here comes Mike Davenport on the top.
Dylan Jones maybe looking to hang out. Blackwell Hill coming out of the corner. He can't get up in time. Davenport's going to get to the outside of Dylan Jones. But like we talked about, hot track temp, a little bit more unstable of a car. You see Dylan Jones jump to the top like we talked about coming out of 2. He's going to get a push from Davenport. But this wind coming out of 4. Oh, he got 2 cars in the apron. Oh, man, I don't know how they saved that. Ward to the middle line. He's going to get a good push from Blackwell with the support of Christopher McCullough in the middle line. Dylan Jones going to get a push from Davenport, and Kenny McCullough is going to get buried on the bottom.
The wild racing that we always knew and loved from the Xfinity car coming back tonight, and it is hot and heavy. 3 laps to go. Kenny, oh my goodness. Oh, now they're going to wreck. It's Chris McCullough to the outside wall. Catches Mike Davenport. We keep it straight now. McCullough's going to go around a little further back. He slides trying to get it corralled, and he does. So we stay green for the time being. Like I said, everybody in except for Tracy Scott, who is a lap down from the field. So if Chris can just get it rolling and survive a couple of more laps, he's going to be in the show regardless, even with that damaged race car up front. It's kind of about a 7-car breakaway now, led by John Ward, Dylan Blackwell. Intense racing that we just saw there, though. That's a little taste of what you can expect. And now you see that wind off of 4. That's a good call. I didn't even think about wind, and it's certainly affecting these drivers big time in a huge way. And this car, it just is so much different than the truck. It's a little tougher to drive, a little tougher to keep straight, and you can tell as these guys, some of them all over the place. Oh, Sperling throws a block on Ward. How did John Ward keep that car going in the right direction? I have no idea. And these guys, they're starting to show off a little bit now late in this LCQ, the latest of them to be John Ward in the 92.
Now they're single filed out. A little bit of the chaos calming down. Everyone here in a good transfer position. Oh, you got to think of that coming to this last lap. You get wrecked out of 3. You can still be a lap down and finish behind Tracy. So you might want to take it easy. Oh, as I say that, they almost wrecked Spalding up the track. Holy cow, this is crazy.
This is insane. Dylan Jones might get hung out in a spot he doesn't want to be. Bullies his way back into line. White flag here in the LCQ race. 1 lap to go. And here comes Kenny McCullough to the outside in the 0-3. Oh, wow. Bo Tiffany. I don't know what happened to that 41. Contact. They're banging doors in turns 1 and 2. McCullough and the 4 of Dylan Blackwell. This is like short track racing up front as they go door to door. They hit again. Oh, trouble. Car a little further back. I think that was Jesse Sperling. He's going to get it corralled and get it back going. Back up front, McCullough still to the outside of Dylan Blackwell. Here comes Christian Sanford with a huge run on the outside of the racetrack. Blackwell trying to hold tough. Oh boy, still 3 wide. They're starting to split. Dylan Jones through the middle. Sanford to the outside. Oh, I think we're headed for a photo finish. Trouble. Jones and Blackwell a little further back. They got to make it to the line. Blackwell slides up front. Does Fox take a look? He does. Blocked by Sanford. Back to the outside. Christian Sanford wins the last chance qualifier race, and what a race it was.
That was crazy last 2 laps. I couldn't throw a caution because 1 or 2 cars wrecked every single time. We have relaxed yellows, but it cleared out the entire field coming there. And great blocking by Sanford there coming to the line. That 51 car was all over the place. Hopefully this isn't to see what is to come for the feature race. Hopefully it's a little bit cleaner, but oh my goodness, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was. So everybody take a breath. Everybody except Tracy Walker that was in that field is in the field. We're going to take a little short break, see if I can't fix this technology that's doing me wrong, get you back here for the feature here in just 1 second. We'll be right back. Back with you here at Talladega Superspeedway after that incredible last chance qualifier event. And boy, I don't think we have the words to talk about it here as these guys have a 5-minute warm-up. You'll see them flash across the racetrack here in the bottom of your screen. You see a live look at the skies above Talladega Superspeedway. And it's going to be about 5 minutes till we take the grid for this race. And boy, if that LCQ was any indication, we are in for a treat tonight. These cars are providing such a challenge. The weather as well is making it really, really tough on these drivers. So it's going to be interesting to see what they have to do to challenge it. And certainly you saw even some of the big guys struggling. John Ward, Kenny McCullough, Chris McCullough, Dylan Jones, guys that are going to run up front here in this main event. That were really struggling with the cars, and if any of these main event guys that locked into the field were watching that LCQ race, I can't imagine they're feeling very good about the car they're about to jump into right here once we get going here in about 3 minutes.
You know, the only thing that kind of gives me a little hope is the people up front, including Dale Cup, have ran these cars a lot. Navarro's very skilled in this car. MBG very skilled in this car. Colton Salick, another one, very skilled in this car. Had a good finish last week in the truck, but he's a very good Xfinity driver. I think the front 10 are very very well versed in this Xfinity car, but once you move past that, it's going to be a haymaker bloodbath trying to get to the front.
Well, it's exactly what we expect. It's exactly what we want to see tonight, I'll tell you that much, and we'll get you a little look at your race info here briefly. While we have a minute, it is going to be 40 laps as per the usual tonight. Same 60% fuel is on tap in the Xfinity Series race cars. A fast repair available, but like I said, you can fix a lot more damage than you used to be able to. There are 3 green-white checkered attempts, that third green-white checkered being a little bit different. We'll talk about that a little later on if we do happen to need those green-white checkered attempts once we get to the end of the regulation 40 laps. Talladega Superspeedway, the venue, as always, 2.66 miles in length. And you see the weather, 81 degrees in the air. It's a lot of humidity, and as such, the track, 129 degrees here in real time. So that's going to be a struggle to watch, especially if this race gets into a long run. And wow, it's going to be really hard. I'm serious when I say it was about a lap, and we were blinking, getting ready to blow up. Trying to push in these cars last night. So it's going to be different than what you're used to seeing Thursday night heat. But it's going to be good. I cannot wait. These guys certainly cannot wait to get on track and get this one underway. And in about a minute and 20 seconds, we will get to the grid. Like I said, our very own Austin Green is in the field. We'll get to talk to him hopefully a little bit later on. I think he's going to join us at some point during the race and give us an idea of what he's feeling in the car, how the car is racing. And kind of just give us an update from a driver's perspective mid-race. So we'll hopefully get a word from him later on once we get a little bit into this feature event. And we'll hear from some others perhaps during the race, see how they're feeling about this Xfinity car. We'll just have to see how chaotic this race gets. And I'll tell you what, if you were here Tuesday, first of all, what an incredible race we had Tuesday night if you were not tuned in for the Tuesday Night Thunder Championship race. It was about 70 laps of green flag racing. It was outstanding. It was all pitch strategy. It was great racing up at the front of the field. Once we hit that stage break, got past that, got to pit stops, it was an incredible race to watch strategy play out. Had some huge moments. And then obviously, at the end of that one, the guy standing next to me here in the booth, Matthew Baker, coming away with that championship. So what a huge moment for him and his team. And it was a great race leading into tonight where you're going to see a lot of the same guys in a different car, a different environment. But certainly, if you tuned into Tuesday, you got a nice appetizer for tonight, as what a great race that was.
It was a ton of fun to race. Probably had to change my underwear after the save I had, but that was a lot of very good, clean racing. Something that I wasn't expecting after the week before that, but you're going to see some of the same names that were out there Tuesday up front here to start this race out. And just as we say that, we're gridding up now.
Yeah, we are going to grid up right now here as the warm-up gets done. And we will get on the grid here for this race. Kevin Freeze is your pole sitter tonight. As we wait for timer to run out. Some reason it's backing up on me yet again, so we may have to do the grid the hard way here tonight as we can try to get this fixed. Let's see. Going to have about a minute and a half. All right, one more quick break before we get started, and then we will get right back to it here just briefly. Give me just 1 second. We'll get you starting grid. We'll get us underway. Thursday Night Heat, don't go anywhere. All right, once again, we have it working. We're going to get down on the grid. Kevin Freese is your pole sitter this evening. We're rolling off the grid at Talladega. New look for Kevin tonight. We will see what he can get done with it here. So we get into your starting grid. We're going to get through as much of it as we can before we go to the green flag. Kevin Freese on the pole. Gabe Butler to his outside for Dale Cup tonight. Andrew Navarro will roll from third in the 14 with Jeff Merck, one of the two, yep, you heard me right, two NBG cars in the field, rolling from position number 4. Steve Karosik and Zach Lima, the Dale Cup teammates on row 3. Colton Salick, talked about him a little bit in the intro. He rolls 7th with Jason Maines in 8th. There's Austin Green in the 7 in 9th. And Cody Nagels, the other NBG entry, rolls from 10th tonight. We'll go back a little bit further as Baker gets ready to do some race control. John Mullahan, Steele Langford, that's a new name in 12th. Shane Hochstetler, 13th. Nash Brambilla, 14th. Josh Robinson and David Sheets on row 8. Row 9, Trevor Osbornoff for KSR and Michael Triscaro for PGR. Kenneth Stamper and Mark Vondell round out the top 20. Richard Elliott for PGR and Daniel Eberhardt on row 11. Row 12, Ron Morris and Josh Watson. Devin Ray and Chad Ross on row 13. Row 14, Ryan Baste in the 73 for OSM and Trevor Gogola in the 11. Heath Job for OSM goes 29th with Caleb Sibbett, the last guy, in on time tonight in the 22. And then you have your LCQ drivers, Christian Sanford, William Fox, Kenny McCullough, Bo Tiffany, Jesse Sperling, Dylan Jones, John Ward, Mike Davenport, Dylan Blackwell, Michael Clay, Sierra Clampert, Chris McCullough, and Danny Barnes. So, with that said, after the quickest starting grid I've ever done, certainly, we're ready to put them under the green flag for the first time. And we thank you once again for joining us. It's going to be a great night. A lot of people out here to watch Thursday Night Heat. Get used to the B cars. They're back and they're better than ever. Kevin Freese into the restart zone. We are underway in Thursday Night Heat. Freeze out to an early lead on the bottom with the help of Andrew Navarro. Get used to some new looks on some paint schemes tonight. Kevin Freese, a new look. Andrew Navarro as well. Steve Karosik. Gabe Butler's is familiar. The Guinness looks still on the 88. Jeff Merck, kind of an unintended throwback in the 60. A little further back. Here they go, merging to the outside early. Kevin Freese left out to dry as Andrew Navarro puts his name in the hat of leaders tonight in the 42. He rockets to the outside of the Freeze machine. Karosik beats him to the punch to get to the bottom. Here comes Karosik for Dale Cup. He leads as Jason Maines went to the third lane. No help coming. He's going backwards in a hurry. The cavalry coming in the form of Daniel Eberhardt a little further back. Oh, boy, it went out of shape. It was the 28 machine, I'm pretty sure. Maybe the 38 of Chad Ross. No, it was not the 38. It was the 28 of Shane Hochstetler. And he's going to make an unintended early pit stop. That splits the field up just a little as these guys try to catch their breath. Boy, a quick and chaotic start to this one. Karosik continuing to lead. Butler peeking outside. A little further back, Michael Triscaro, the first to try the outside, helped with Daniel Eberhardt in the 90. And a couple of others coming with him. Navarro back to the bottom as we continue to shuffle the leaders up front. Still only lap 2, remember. And these guys are getting up and on the wheel early. Elbows are out at Talladega. This is the opposite of Tuesday, as these guys are scrambling all over the racetrack. 3 wide, a little further back. It's all Andrew Navarro up front in the lead, though. As Kevin Freese back to the bottom of the racetrack in the 25. The Cornflakes machine tonight. His help is Colton Salick in the 9. Colton had a great run in Thursday Night Heat last weekend. as he was able to, trouble right at the front. Navarro gets turned, Freeze, Karosik involved, and now several spinning. Triscaro's into the wall. Cody Nagels is in it big. Chad Ross is in it, and a big crash early on lap number 3 of PGR Thursday Night Heat. Wow. Well, you saw that one happen right at the front of the field, right as Baker came back to us, and we're going to go get a look, but holy cow, this happened right at the front of the field, and a lot of heavy hitters are involved in a big way.
Yeah, I just came back from my PC crashing. I come straight back to not even be able to review what happened on that wreck. That looked like 2 lanes pushing offset at the same time. Looks like Navarro gets turned down by Steve into Kevin into the outside wall, and huge wreck.
This is a big wreck. Cody Nagels involved, Michael Triscaro involved. We're going to go back, hopefully get a little bit different look at this for you. As it was Andrew Navarro getting pushed through turns 1 and 2. And I don't know if Karosik just kind of... Here's a good angle right here. You're going to see if Karosik maybe just hits him in the wrong place. He gets up behind him. Yep, offsets to the left just enough. Gets the 42 out of shape. And wow, that's a quick hook to the left. Nothing Steve or Andrew Navarro could do. And a whale of a hit for Kevin Freeze. Karosik up in the air, up on top of the 25. Gabe Butler is in it. There's Cody spinning to miss, well, what looks to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. It's obviously not. I can't tell which car that is. Thanks to the stamped 88 on the side of that car. The 59 is in it as well. That's Mark Vondell. A little bit different look for him. Oh, my goodness. Chad Ross and Cody Nagels. Massive hit there on the back straightaway. As guys scramble to miss this wreck. We're actually going to get a quick ride on board, hopefully with Cody, because I want to see what he saw right here. I thought he had it missed, and all of a sudden the track got blocked. And you're going to see right here, he's riding right at the tail end. You're on board with the 6 of Cody Nagels. You're going to see Navarro get out of shape, but then after that, you're just going to see how much he can't see. Can't see it, and by the time he can, oh, man. Walloped in the right side door. I actually hit a couple of times there as Cody Nagels, and he comes to a stop. Big damage, big damage on that NBG Motorsports machine, and a lot of guys may have just had to invest their fast repair, and it's awfully early in the race. Oh, wow, several guys sitting on pit road still. Butler, Navarro, Nagels, several others still sitting on pit road as we await the fate of them. Actually, it looks like Cody did take a fast repair, but not the same can be said for Andrew Navarro or Kevin Freeze. They're going to try to fix this. I'm not particularly sure it's going to work. Steele Langford is the Mountain Dew machine tonight. He is sitting on pit road as well. And so we will reset the field just 5 laps in. And I think you kind of talked about it, Baker. I think you used the right word when you said bloodbath and one wrong push, whereas in the trucks you may be able to get away with that push if you're Steve. In these cars, it triggers a wreck, and a wreck in a big way early on in this one.
Oh, well, and the thing about this car is the fenders do not protect the wheel well as much as the trucks do. And if you get any sort of front end or rear end damage and you knock that toe link out, or you bend that toe link or break that toe link, it's a game over for your truck. You're not getting it back to pit road at all.
It's certainly a change of pace. You saw some huge damage. We really showed off the new damage on these machines pretty well in that one, as you saw parts, pieces, hoods, bumper covers, wheels flying everywhere across the back straightaway. And as we reset the field, get ready to go back under the green flag on what's going to be lap number 7. We will re-rack and reorder them for you. Colton Salick in the 9 is going to inherit the race lead out of that. Managed to miss that wreck, get through it, and keep on trucking forward. There you see Steele Langford come off pit road in front of the pace car, as he will try to get back around to the field here with 1 lap to go. Ron Morris will be on the outside of row number 1 in the 76. Good to see Ron running up front. And Kenny McCullough has made his way to the front as well. He's 3rd. Same with Jesse Sperling. He's actually going to be 5th. 4th is Trevor Gogula, who's a little bit further back. Now he comes up And in 6th is Austin Green in the 7. So good to see Austin running up front. Hopefully, again, we are going to get to talk to him a little bit later on, see what the car is doing for him as this race goes forward. It is if he is accessible to us. And I think he will be, but not quite. We'll talk to him a little bit later on as we get later on into this race. Looking a little further back for you, John Ward, John Mullahan, teammates there on row number 4. And then Jeff Mert in the 60. Zach Lima round out what is going to be the top 10 for a restart, a topsy-turvy one at that. The field has been thrown on its head this race. Its first curveball very early on. It's a lot of guys going to have to race a whole different race as we get ready to go back green on lap number 7. 40 laps on tap tonight as per the usual. And maybe a long night, so buckle up. As we get ready to go back under the green flag, we'll quickly go into the chat, say hi to some people. Baker's mom here as usual. Good to see you. Heath Job here as well. Good to see you, Heath. Good luck in the race tonight. I know he's on track right now with his teammates. Fox and Based, all 3 OSM cars. Actually, Devin Ray makes it 4 OSM cars in the field tonight. Devin Ray hopes to see us to the end. We'll see. That's bold. I like the confidence, Devin. We'll see if we see you at the end of this race. And some others in the chat as well. Good to see everybody here tonight. It's a great night for racing. It's a great night to be back in the Xfinity Series cars. Colton Salick, he wants another good run. He had a great run last week. Wants to repeat, maybe make it a couple spots better and get to victory lane. Here he comes into the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. He's on the loud pedal. We're back under green flag racing here in Thursday Night Heat. The outside behind Ron Morris does not go. Trevor Gogol, a bad start. The inside really doesn't go either. Everybody out here in the front pretty much on an island as Salick leads. Headed into turns 1 and 2 and onto the backstretch. It's about a 3-car breakaway up front. Ron Morris down to the bottom, took the hole. Oh, not going to wait for very long, though. There goes Kenny McCullough and Ron Morris Jr. Colton Salick is all by his lonesome, waiting for Jesse Sperling and John Ward. You're about to see a test of the push. Can they make it happen? Nope, they actually lifted out of it. As Kenny McCullough goes to the race lead, Trevor Gogol is going to file in line, maybe. He's lucky those guys cut him a break. Up topside, Jeff Merck in the 60, the first big move of the night, with Zach Lima in the 12 behind him. As they try to come to the front, 3 wide right around Austin. Austin into the middle. He sees an opening. Here comes Jeff Merck to the outside, and Austin Green in the middle. 3 wide for the lead for the first time Thursday night heat. The outside getting wound up. Here comes Nash Brambilla. Here comes Ryan Based. We are getting wound up 3 by 3, 4 rows deep. It's going to be more than that. Eberhardt, Clamper, and others coming to the front. It's going to be 3 wide, 8 rows deep by the time we're all said and done. Look at this field down the back straightaway. So we continue down the backstretch here. 3 wide for the race lead. Jeff Merck posts his nose out just for a second with the help of Zach Lima in the 12. We got one blinking big time in the middle of the racetrack. I can't tell which car that is. Just from a straight look at it, looks to be the 30 of Kenneth Stamper, and it is. Red, white, and blue car having some troubles there in the middle line, about 5-6 cars back. Meanwhile, McCullough up to the middle of the block. He makes it happen. Here comes Merck. Here comes Morris on the bottom. Look at this racing. This is outstanding up front. Jeff Merck back to the lead for NBG Motorsports as he tries to get a good enough push. I don't know, that outside line may stall here. Lima's going to have to really, really push him, cool off that car, and get a good enough push down the backstretch to get him clear. Middle line starting to surge a little bit as Austin tries to get Kenny McCullough out in front of the field. Still 3 by 3 for the race lead. Ron Morris back to the lead here. Lap 9 on the board. It is hot and heavy. Just look at this wide shot down the back straightaway. Almost the entire field 3 wide. All the way back to even the guys running in 30th right now. This is insanity up front. And this is what we're used to seeing out of the trucks. And Morris up in front of his McCullough Motorsports teammate tonight, Kenny McCullough. It's going to allow Merck right back into this fight. So middle has to check up. Gogol now leads the bottom. Morris back across the bottom lane. They're trying to cycle temps as quickly as they can. Merck may get clear to the middle, and he does. New leader at Talladega, Jeff Merck in the 60. Great run for him early on. But don't look now. Here comes Lima to the outside with the help of Nash Brambilla for PGR, Jason Maines, as well as Caleb Sibbett, David Sheets, and others making their first appearance at the front of the field.
And I'm back again. Had a some connection issues there, but 3x3, almost 10 rows deep. This is some insanely good racing. You've got 6 rows deep of 3-wide racing. Lima, the Pied Piper right now, working both lanes all the way down to the bottom in front of Morse, and he's going to maybe come back in front of Merck. I don't think he will, though. Kenneth McCullough giving a good push to Jeff Merck. Merck had some really bad luck in the trucks these last couple of weeks, but man, does he know how to drive an Xfinity car, and that number 60 looks really good up front in the middle.
Yeah, he's been up front a number of times that I've seen him here in the last few weeks, but it just has never gone his way. The change of scenery is treating him awfully well. Jeff Merck leads again for NBG, and again, one of 2 NBG cars in the field tonight. His teammate Cody Nagels is about 8 rows back. You see him there in the middle in front of Steve Karosik. I believe those guys are running with the Dale Cup teammates tonight. I could be wrong, but I think they are running with those guys. But we'll have to find a little bit later. That's going to allow the top line to roll a little bit here. Nash Brambilla to the lead for PGR with the help of Jason Maines in the 1 for the first time tonight. And oh, trouble. Oh, my goodness. Ron Morris. He's still on the apron, and I think he's just going to suffice to go to the back right here. Ron Morris, great save, keeps it down low. He's going to let the field go by. May have some help getting the back up front. That's going to allow Merck to clear all the way to the bottom. Oh, a big gap, though. Here come McCullough and Brambilla as they look to get the lead. Kenny McCullough may get it, and that's going to leave the middle open to Austin Green in the 7. How about Austin getting mixed up in this early on? Great run for the 7 car tonight so far, and we'll see what he can do with it. He's got another 7 car behind him, John Mullahan, in that Brandt machine. This is unreal at the front of the field. Lap 12 on the board. Still 3 wide, multiple rows deep in this field as everybody looks for somewhere to go and more real estate.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's gridlock, but it's really not. There's a lot of shuffling going on, and you can see what the wind is doing going into 3 now. It's shifted to the northeast, back to the north now, so look out a 4 for this bottom lane to really get pushed up. Kenny holds a good line. Merck back to the middle line. He's going to jump in front and try and get the push there to the front. He's doing really well controlling these different lanes. Kenneth McCullough all the way to the front from the LCQ. Very impressive.
No surprise, Kenny McCullough has a nose for the front of the field, and you know who else has a nose for the front of the field tonight? That's Ryan Baste in the 73, who now leads the top in front of Nash Brambilla. He saw his opportunity, and he seized it. He goes up in front of the 23, tries to get the top line rolling, and once again, we're going to be 3 wide for the race lead down the back straightaway. McCullough starting to fade just a little as Lima tries to keep him up front. But no match here. Still 3 wide, about, I'll make it 6, 7, 8 rows deep. As guys shuffle a little further back, looking for that extra real estate. Kenny McCullough back to the lead. Now it's going to clear Merck. No, he's not. Merck back to the outside of him. Oh, Sibbett had a moment a little further back. They're going to be almost 4 wide around Jason Maines. They sorted back out 22, really having some problems holding on to that race car. But he manages to keep it going straight for now. Ryan Baste fades about 2 cars. Now gets back to the outside of the leaders. Nash Brambilla doing an excellent job of pushing the 73. And you're right, it may look like a parking lot, it may look like gridlock, but there's so much movement going around in these lines right now. Guys jumping up in front, taking their opportunities where they can find them, getting down to the middle, going back to the top. Now you see Dylan Jones go to the bottom. That leaves room for Eberhardt. Just what incredible racing. I cannot say enough about what we've got going so far. That's going to allow Zach Lima back to the race lead with the help of Trevor Gogla in the 11. Can Lima clear up in front of Kenny? Not quite. McCullough is there. Ryan Baste, another big surge to the outside of the racetrack up against the wall as Brambilla tries his best to get him out front. You know Brambilla's car is screaming at him to get out from behind the 73 right now. These guys running hot. This racing is great. Almost halfway home in PGR, and it doesn't even seem like we've done that many laps. Baste pokes the nose out front just for a second. As Brambilla, you can see him diving out of the line. He's hot. He's big-time hot. He's lifted way off the 73, trying to get cool. The same can be said for Jeff Merck in the middle and Trevor Gogol on the bottom. They are boiling here as the third line begins to fade just a bit. Kenny McCullough back to the lead down the back straightaway.
And, you know, I saw the bottom lane really get formed up. I really think this car has to do with how good these lines are formed up, and just how hard you're pushing is just how much you can get formed up, how close you can stay together, how many people are in your lines, just like real life. And you saw Lima able to push McCullough clears. You see Merck jump to the top of Austin Green. He's going to try and get a push to the front. And you see Lima jump to the middle line in front of McCullough. Great move from Lima there to get off that bottom lane so he doesn't get buried. Now look for Ward to give a great push to the bottom of the number 11 car.
This is unbelievable. Trevor Gogol to the lead in PGR Thursday Night Heat for the first time tonight. Merck and Austin Green with fresh temps up top against the wall. As Merck got out of line in front of Austin Green. You saw Austin jump out in front of Ryan Bates once he got the opportunity. And that's going to be how you see the third line move tonight. It's going to be guys with fresh temps jumping up, maybe leading the line for a second, cooling their temps off, and then you're going to see a guy maybe a little, trouble, Sperling in the 51, and now we're going to go around. Cody Nagels is involved, and others as we spin and crash into the outside wall, and one on its side. That's David Sheets. He's going to actually roll onto his lid. Mike Davenport, Ron Morris, Richard Elliott, and others involved here as well. Sierra Clampert, as with 25 laps to go, we'll put a halt to it once again for another caution. We're going to go back and take a quick look at this one. We'll find the first car to get around. I think it was Jesse Sperling. Well, we might get a look at it. We might not. See if we can get a look at Cody. Nope, maybe not. All right, we're going to go back this up the hard way then. Jesse Sperling here in the 51. He was the first one I saw certainly get out of line. And let's see. He's in line. Oh, boy. It's the wind, I think. Again, the wind. Oh, boy. John Ward out of line. Dylan Jones out of line. Josh Watson out of line. Sperling gets into Karosik, washes up just a little too much. And is going to slide across the racetrack here. We'll see if we can get a little better look at it. He tries his best to correct instead. Going to get a piece of Josh Watson. Cody Nagel spins off of Mike Davenport. Chris McCullough hard into the outside wall. Actually up into the catch fencing. Just for a moment. David Sheets gets airborne. Gets up on the left side of that car. Gets pinned to the outside wall. And as he comes back down, he's actually going to roll onto the lid of that 06. He gets the worst of this. Richard Elliott there getting involved. Cody Nagels once again is involved. And I don't think the 6 has too much damage out of this. So we'll see if Cody get it back going. Mark Vondell, Gabe Butler a little further back. And another big incident. Luckily, this one not quite as many cars, but Sperling. Oh, Heat Job is in it as well in the 760. You see him driving by. Holy cow. It's another big wreck, but it's not as big as the first one. It takes out some guys. As we get back to live action here, back up at the front of the field. It's going to be John Ward leading the race under caution, almost halfway home in Thursday Night Heat. We have a chance to catch our breath for the first time in what seemed like a while. Unreal stuff up front, but you can tell that wind is really starting to get to guys there in turn number 3. So John Ward leads the field. Kevin Freese trying to get back on the lead lap. Is not going to be able to right here. He's actually 2 laps down. He was trying to get one of them back, but will not as he cycles behind John Ward. Zach Lima, Kenny McCullough, Jeff Merck, John Mullahan, Daniel Eberhardt, Steve Karosik, Dylan Jones, Austin Green, and Trevor Gogola are your top 10 here in the middle portion of this race. And now's, I think, when we're going to use the opportunity, just briefly, to get our own Austin Green in here briefly. We're going to word from him, and we'll shoot him back down there. I know he's running with some guys tonight, so we'll see what he has to say. Hey, Austin, it's the boys in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, what's up, Dawson?
Well, you're looking sporty tonight. I'll tell you what, that car is up and running, and I want you to tell me a little bit here under the caution. We're not going to keep you for long, but I do want you to tell me what is it like being up at the front of the field, because I'll tell you what, up here, it has been absolutely nuts from start to finish here.
Well, it's been the same from the cockpit for the most part so far. It's the first race I've done in these Xfinity cars, and it's definitely not like the trucks. I mean, I think after about 5 laps, it just seemed like each lap after that, the handling was harder and harder. They get hot so quick that it was just – I like it better, though, almost, because it feels like you're really driving the car each lap. It's not so much bumper to bumper as it is you got to time your stuff right, and at the same time, you're also trying to hold on to a loose car. So I've been enjoying it so far.
Well, we're seeing you run up front. I mean, what's gotten India up there? We're seeing you make some bold moves to get out in front of the field. What's your mindset going into this restart?
Well, I think my better judgment wanted me to take 4 tires right there, but I took 2 to stay up here near at the front, so I'm hoping the track position is probably the most important. Seems like it usually is, so I'm probably going to try to stay around here, be slow with the moves. If there's a good third lane, maybe take it. If not, maybe try to get to the inside, but you know how crazy these things get, so we'll just have to see what happens here.
All right, well, hey, thanks for talking to us really quickly. We'll drop you back down, let you get back to work, and we'll see if we're seeing you a little later on.
Appreciate it, Dawson. Thank you.
Our very own Austin Green. You heard him say that tires are going to be a commodity here. He should have taken 4. I think several guys did use the advantage of a pit stop there under yellow to take 4 tires and kind of reset their grip levels. You can tell these guys are all kinds of out of whack. It's not even funny how tough it looks to drive these cars. And so we'll have to see here as we get ready to go back green how it's going to affect them. And it's been a great race to this point. Can they keep it up? Here we're going to be almost halfway home. Lap 20 will go on the board, in fact. When we go back under the green flag, Zach Lima for Dale Cup continues to lead the race. You called him the Pied Piper earlier, Baker, and I think you're right. He's been great. He's been polished. It looks like he never left these cars. And he certainly is a guy to watch here late, but he's got guys like that all around him. Most notably, Ken McCullough, Jeff Merck. How about those two? They've been running really well as well. And some guys that took tires right there are going to be pinned a little further back. We're going to see what they can do. So we get ready to go back racing almost halfway through Thursday night heat here. What a great Thursday night it is for more money racing. These cars have been outstanding. Can they keep the show up? We're going to find out here in just a moment. Zach Lima into the tri-oval. This long, eternal crawl into the restart zone seems like it takes forever when you're in the cockpit of one of these cars. Green flag is back in the air. 21 laps to go in Thursday night heat. McCullough, a pretty good run with the help of his teammate John Mullahan. Karosik is back up here as well. And then you see Austin Green, Daniel Eberhardt, Dylan Jones taking their turns to come to the front as well. But it's going to be all Zach Lima with the help of Jeff Merck. Here comes Merck back to the bottom off turn number 2 out of the back straightaway.
Lima doing a great job controlling lanes there, getting up in front of Ken. Ken looks very comfortable up front here in this car. Very impressed by him. Another car that should be very comfortable as well is Daniel Eberhardt. Very good in the B cars. He's got Dylan Jones behind him, pushing Merck. Merck has had some problems with Eberhardt in the past, but Eberhardt knows if there's anyone on his nose, he's going to push him to the front. He doesn't care. So look for Merck to maybe try and hold this line here on the bottom and try not to get pushed through in the corners and come away with something good here. As you see Steve go to the outside here, taking it to the top 3 wide, trying to get some cars behind him to get that support up there.
Yep, Austin Green, the first of them to go. And like I said, you only really need 2 to start to make it happen. Although once you draw the attention of the guys around you, you're going to get some more help. And they have some coming a little further back in the form of, I believe that's William Fox in 26. Actually, he dives back out of line. Oh, he's thinking about it. Now back to the middle, back to the top. He's debating. Back there a little further back. Gabe Butler was trying to get up there, but just not close enough. He's going to dive back in line as well. Now some takers. Jason Maines to the outside, trying to help Austin Green. As well as the 17, a little further back, Josh Robinson. Caleb Simino, Gogola out of line in the 11. Can he hold on to it? He's sliding, and now he slides back across the racetrack. And I think he's going to collect some guys. We're going to see if we can find him here. Gogola, and he does. He collects Cody Nagels and Ron Morris. They spin to the inside, and the caution flag is going to be out on the racetrack here once again on lap 22. Gogola, we saw it on our screen. What we did not see on our screen was Cody Nagels. What happened to the 6 and the 76? So we'll try to get a look at that briefly for you. As I look for Cody on this list of people. Of course, he's not in the 6 in the race session. That would be Jeff Merck, ironically enough. You can believe that. Now we've got Cody. Let's see if we can get a look at what happened to he and Ron Morris Jr. Here off of turn number 4. Gogola was the first one to get out of line. And I think as they stack up, well, we may not actually get a look at it after all. Nope, we did not pick that one up. So something happening with Cody Nagels, Ron Morris. They get stacked up as Gogola goes to the inside and slides sideways. And an incident near the back of the field puts us under the caution quickly again here on lap 22. All the same up front. Ken McCullough still leading the field. Zach Lima, Jeff Merck, Daniel Eberhardt. Guys we just talked about, definitely in contention to win this race. 100%. Jason Maines starting to make his way up here as well. No surprises to see he's starting to find his footing. Starting to get more comfortable. Ryan Baste, William Fox, the OSM teammates. Devin Ray not far behind them as well. So look for them to maybe make some noise on the next restart. You start to look for teammates here late in these races because you know that's inevitably who you're going to default to. Some guys have them, some guys don't. Zach Lima, his teammate Steve Karosik, 7th right now. Their teammate Gabe Butler is 18th. So the Dale Cup boys not really together here. Kenny McCullough and John Mullahan are going to be 3rd and 5th, I believe, on this restart. So they are hooked up. Obviously, we mentioned Baste and Fox. Nash Brambilla for PGR is 12th. So we'll see what he can get rocking and rolling on this restart. Jason Maines has a teammate for Dylan Jones running 6th right now. So those guys are going to be pretty close together here. But that's what you start to look for late in this race because the teammates seem to find each other. We saw that a lot on Tuesday. If you were able to tune in, the teammates just kind of attracted one another late in that race when it mattered most. We certainly saw the effects that good teammates can have late in the going of that one. So we'll see if any of these guys' teammates can get up here and help them. Although it is just whoever's in front of you, like you were talking about with Eberhardt and Merck, you're going to push them to the front. At the same time, though, obviously not the same allegiance to that guy in front of you if he's not a team car as it would be if he was your teammate. So we'll see what these guys can get going as we get ready for another late restart. And I'll tell you what, Baker, I'm getting more and more excited the more laps we run. I think we're gearing up for a really great run to the end.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're good to the end on fuel here. 60% fuel. You get about 39, 38 laps to the tank here. So I think you can go for a full run here. You're not going to see any pit stops here unless it's for tires. But I think track position's key. It's really hard to get a run ginned up on that third line. Bottom and middle have been pretty dominant, but you know, you alluded to that NVG Dale Cup Alliance. It looks like we're seeing it right now with Leighton and Merck here out front trying to control both lines. And, you know, Eberhardt seems committed to pushing Merck here. Look for him to maybe go 3 wide here with Dylan Jones. He'll have him lined up on his back bumper here. But the wild card here is John Mullahan.
Absolutely. He's got a teammate, Kenneth McCullough, running just in front of him here on this restart. We'll see what he does with it. And if those guys can get it up and rolling, we're going to re-rack the field for you. You already heard about Lima and Merck, as well as McCullough and Eberhardt and Mullahan and Dylan Jones. Steve Karosik, Kenneth Stamper on row number 4. You obviously saw Stamper having some connection issues earlier on. I think he's got those fixed, so he'll be able to restart in the 8th position and get it rolling here on this restart. Austin Green goes to P9 with Ryan Baste to his outside for OSM. Then you have William Fox and Nash Brambilla, Jason Maines, Trevor Osranoff looking for his second PGR win a little further back for KSR. He's got his teammate Kenneth Stamper up in the mix in this race as well. So some pairs of teammates. Who's going to be the first to bite? Who's going to be the first to move? That's where we're going to be finding out. Michael Triscaro, by the way, not too far back either for Team PGR. He's scored 19th. He is not out of this yet. They're on the outside in that white True Value IROC style paint scheme. On the side of that 34, he's trying to make a recovery tonight as well. Still searching for that big win. And boy, would he love for it to come on a night like tonight. What a night it's been for PGR. Going back to the Xfinity Series cars, and I'll tell you what, that run we had just a little bit ago, that was just outstanding. I hope we can get back to it. I'm sure we will. If these guys have anything to say about it, we're going to get right back to that. So buckle up. Take one last deep breath. It might be the last one you get in this race. We got a nail-biter here at Talladega. A lot of fast race cars, a lot of guys wanting those big payouts. Here, when it comes down to it, the money's made here in the last 20 laps of this race. Everybody's going to be good on fuel. The tires are worn out. The fenders are going to be worn out. The tempers might be worn out, but we're going to find a winner here at the front of this field in just about 17 laps. That's what's going to be on the board as we come back to green. The alliance up front is Lima and Merck. Can they hold everyone at bay, or is someone else going to come from further back and topple them over? Zach Lima controls the field as the pace car dives to pit road once again. We get ready to go back under the green flag on lap number 25. Here we go. 25 will go on the board. It'll be 16 laps to go. I'm sorry. As Lima into the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. And we are rolling once again. And it's going to come down to it. Lima pretty good start, but that outside hooked up 3 cars. 1, 2, 3, Merck, Eberhard, Jones. They are all over each other into 1 and 2. That outside line going to be rolling in a big way. Expect Jeff Merck to get the run. Do Eberhard and Jones go? Here comes the field. Lima and Merck leading the field onto the Alabama Gang super stretch. Oh, trouble! Jeff Merck gets turned into Zach Lima. Lima spins across the field. Nash Brambilla hits him. Gabe Butler hits him. And now other cars piling in. David Sheets is involved. Jeff Merck in the 60 went spinning to the inside wall. And right at the front of the field, just when it seemed like Zach Lima was going to be the guy to beat, now he's going to struggle to get that car back to the pit lane. Oh, my goodness. You saw it right in the middle of your screen. Shouldn't be hard to see what happened on this one. Looks like a bad push from Kenny McCullough. Their cars did not meet well. And here we go. You're going to see it, and you'll be able to see Jeff Merck as well in the 60. He's going to actually, no, sorry, it's not Kenny. It's Eberhard in the top line. Just gets offset with Merck. Gets into the back of Zach Lima. They scramble on the back straightaway to miss him. It looks like Jeff Merck, I think, keeps it going here in the 60. Try to get a look up a little further. Yes, he does. So Jeff Merck, what a save by the driver of the 60 machine. But Lima gets the worst of this. Danny Barnes, Mark Vondell, Gabe Butler, Trevor Gogola, Richard Elliott, Mike Davenport, Bo Tiffany. There's Cody Nagels. You know, he doesn't have a fast repair left. He's just bobbing and weaving trying to get through this one. As he slows up for the wreck. John Ward to the inside of the wreck as well. Wow. We saw it coming. I mean, we really did see this one coming the way these guys were pushing. We'll get one more look at it before we. Oh man, it's really not even that bad a push on the outside by Daniel Eberhard. It was a push that, again, you probably could get away with if it's either the old Xfinity cars or the truck. And fortunately with this build, you're just not going to get away with it. Dylan Jones actually catches the outside wall in the 44. You see Devin Ray scrambling to the bottom trying to miss it. I think he does. Gabe Butler not so lucky. Richard Elliott not so lucky. Neither is Nash Brambilla. Andrew Navarro is in it as well as Danny Barnes. There's Vondell. There's Sheets again. Josh Watson's involved. Trevor Gogola is involved. Another big wreck. And Zach Lima in a shower of sparks after it really did look like he was going to be the guy to beat in this field. And the field once again flipped on its head here inside 15 laps to go at Talladega. Baker steps away to do some race control duties. We'll get his take on that wreck here in just a moment once he gets all of that wrapped up here under what is our 4th caution of the evening. And it's starting to get a little bit sloppy now as we get closer to the end of this race, and more guys going to have damaged cars. This is a perfect opportunity for an underdog winner. We got a lot of guys up front that would love to get this win. John Mullahan leading the field. Kenneth Stamper, our winner from last week. Jeff Merck survives to run 3rd out of this. Dylan Jones is going to be 4th. Steve Karosik would love to go back to PGR victory lane. Ryan Baste, what a win it would be for him. He gets through that wreck. Same with Austin Green. How cool would it be for Austin to get to victory lane tonight? William Fox for OSM. Jason Maines. Trevor Osborne looking to play spoiler yet again. Devin Ray got through that wreck, I do believe. We actually, last I checked, had him in the chat. Hey, Devin, if you're out there, this is unorthodox, but Devin, if you're out there, go ahead and radio in, if you will. Communicate to us and let us know how your car is faring after that caution. It looked like you scrambled and missed it, but we're going to have a chance for a really unique interaction here if he actually is able to get back to us in the 85 tonight. It's actually the 19 on the side of that race car, the Eris machine. Toyota Supra. Looked like he got through the wreck. Josh Robinson, Caleb Sibbett, Michael Triscaro, Shane Hochstetler, Heath Job. Also all got through the wreck. Jesse Sperling. What a run it's been for Jesse Sperling. What a night as he makes his first PGR appearance, at least the first one that I've been a part of. Dylan Blackwell, Andrew Navarro a little further back. We're going to re-rack them, and the field again flipped on its head. As lap 28 will go on the board. It'll be 12 laps to go to get back under the green flag. And now I think is a good chance to start telling you about the green, white checkered attempts. So, first two, as usual, are normal. Any wreck on the track with 3 or more cars is going to be a caution flag as long as it is on the racing surface. That third green, white checkered, if we do need it, if a wreck happens in the money positions, a caution will be thrown. The race will be determined by the finishing results at the time of caution. The field will be frozen. And if not, if it's behind the money positions, we're going to race it out and go all the way to the checkered flag here tonight in PGR. It's just to avoid, hopefully, finishing under caution for a wreck that does not affect the money position. So, with 12 laps to go, these guys look to get back into a rhythm. John Mullihan leading the field. What a win it would be for him for McCullough Motorsports. And there's Devin Ray, definitely worth the view from his cockpit. Well, we don't have time under this caution. If we do get another one, we might go back and take a look if we do have a chance, because I would like to see it as well. That was a wild ride, certainly. But he manages to get through it. He lives to see another day. And I will point out, and this is worth noting, you see Jeff Merck, Steve Karosik on the flat, on the apron. I don't know off the top of my head what a fuel run is in these cars, but I know it's not much longer than the trucks, in which a run is about 16, 17, 18 laps. These guys would have to go about 20 plus any green, white checkered attempts. So we're going to see if fuel becomes a factor. Obviously, Karosik, Merck making an effort to save. They pull back in line now, so pace car dives once again to the pit road and leaves the field in the hands of the 35 of John Mullihan. Kenneth Stamper to his outside, the field working its way into the tri-oval once again. 12 laps to go from Talladega. The cookie's going to crumble one way, it's going to crumble another way. We're going to find out right here. Green flag is back in the air once again in Thursday Night Heat. What a great start for Ken Stamper in the 30. Last week's winner looking to go back-to-back here in Thursday Night Heat. He gets a great push from Dylan Jones in the outside line as he tries to pull off the door of John Mullihan, get a run down the back straightaway with the inside surging once again. It's Mullihan, the help of Merck and Karosik, but oh boy, that outside is hooked up in a big way. OSM, I thought they were going to peek to the outside and go. They do not. They stay in line instead as Ryan Bass, William Fox is going to wait just a little bit longer, bide their time. A little further back, Colton Salek, the first to move to the outside, but up front, Kenneth Stamper, Dylan Jones to Stamper, blocking to the apron. He does. We scramble for a moment. And trouble. Michael Triscaro is around in the 34. And once again, we are piling them up as Triscaro is hard into the outside wall. And another caution here after just about a half a lap. And Triscaro now comes to a stop, and so does Cody Nagels in the 6. And this is another pretty sizable incident. So we'll try to get a look here about back around Michael Triscaro. They stacked up on the outside line. We're going to have to get a little better look at this, I think. See if that follow camera is going to help us any. Yep, it will. Heat Job running behind Triscaro. The middle begins to check up. You see right there, as Jones and Stamper went to the bottom, Bass got out of it. And the line starts to fade. Triscaro has to lift here for the 17 to Josh Robinson, I think. As Heath Job goes around the outside, he's going to clip just barely the rear end of Michael Triscaro's car. Triscaro comes down, hits Jason Maines. Luckily, Maines keeps it going straight. Nowhere to go for Colton Salek. He hits the 34 pretty substantially. Dylan Blackwell is involved. Here comes Nagels, and there's just nowhere to go for the 6. Huge damage and a big hit for the driver of the 6, Jesse Sperling, into the outside wall. You see a couple of cars scrambling at the bottom to try to miss this. Wow. And Triscaro, it's another brutal, what I think is going to be an end to his night. It may not be. I may be wrong. We'll go back one more time, try to get one more look at it for you. Maybe, maybe not. Guess not, but Triscaro sits on pit road, and a heavily damaged number 34 machine. So he goes one lap down inside of 10 laps to go. Well, it's going to be 10 laps to go here as we hit the start-finish line. That's going to put a couple of guys out. Michael Triscaro, I believe, being one of them. Cody Nagels as well. I don't think that's going to be repairable damage for those guys. We will certainly see, but tough break. And we have really started to slow the pace of this race down. A couple of quick cautions As we go inside 10 to go now, you see Dylan Jones on the apron potentially saving fuel. So fuel strategy starts to become a very real possibility. Karosik's down on the flat. So perhaps another wrinkle thrown into this race. As the more cautions we have, the more laps we're going to run. Now, granted, it's going to help them pacing, but still not going to be enough gas to go 6, 7, 8 laps over. So several guys, Jason Maines, Caleb Sibbett, Austin Green, Ron Morris, Shane Hochstetler further back, all on the flat now, attempting to save gas. Throw a wrench into this race. Here as we are just inside of 10 laps to go. Baker steps away once again. Hopefully we'll hear from him here in a moment. And so we'll get ready to go green once again. What has been a great race to this point. Hopefully gets the finish it deserves tonight. And we will re-rack the field for you once again. We've got some guys up here. I'll tell you what. This is going to be a very entertaining race to the end. There's some guys up front that really could use a victory. Dylan Jones, it would be a big night for him. Ryan Baste, John Mullahan, William Fox, Jeff Merck. Obviously, I think of the guys up front that remain after that caution, after these few wrecks, I think the best car on track, at least the most consistent all night, has been Jeff Merck. If ever there was a night for it to go right for Merck, it would be tonight. This has been his best showing in several weeks. So he would certainly love to get the job done. We're going to get 1 to go. Here as we put 9 laps to go on the board. It's going to be 8 to go when we go back under the green flag. Obviously, Trevor Oswanoth, we talked about him a little bit. He won several weeks back. Steve Karosik has won PGR before. Austin Green would be a great moment for him as well. Josh Robinson, Devin Ray, Caleb Sibbett, Shane Hochstetler, Ron Morris. The list goes on of guys that would be just in seventh heaven if they could get this victory tonight. It's a great opportunity with so many big hitters involved in wrecks, involved in adversity tonight. It's a big opportunity that has suddenly presented itself here inside of 10 laps to go. And it's gotten a little sloppy, Baker, but hopefully these guys can get this figured out here as we're inside 10 to go. Still having some issues with Baker. Hopefully we'll get him back here very shortly. And I hope he can see this finish because it's been a great race. Love to see this one out all the way to the end. As Stamper selects the bottom here for this restart in front of Ryan Baste and his teammate William Fox for OSM. Devin Ray, their teammate, not far away. He's 11th now. Well, he scored 11th. He's actually going to restart in the 12th position. So in prime position to go make it happen is Devin Ray. He wants back-to-back good weeks. He would love to go get another podium here once again tonight, or even a victory. Definitely not out of the question the way we've seen some of these wrecks unfold at the front of the field. And so here we go once again. Pace car to the inside of the racetrack. We're going to put lap 33 on the board here. It'll be 8 laps to go from Talladega Superspeedway PGR Thursday night heat. Getting down to the nitty-gritty of this race tonight as Kenneth Stamper and Dylan Jones roll us into the restart zone once again. Green flag is back in the air. We're back racing once again from Talladega.
Well, we say it time and time again, Kenneth Stamper back out front in another PGR race. Had a really good showing last week. Had a really good showing the week before. They are door banging going into 2. Really stacked up on the bottom lane. I think they're going to have a way bigger run. Look for Merck to maybe jump to the outside. They get a little squirrely third car in line.
That was William Fox in the 26th. They get it sorted out, though, as Merck is third in the outside line. He's got Karosik behind him. They are running together as far as we know, so they would be the first guys I would expect to move. Stamper. Oh, trouble! It's Ryan Baste off the nose of his teammate William Fox. Big crash. Josh Robinson into the catch fencing. And once again, we're under the caution. Late in the going. This one involving Robinson Ryan Baste and others. And another pretty sizable accident. We're going to try to get a decent look at this one. You saw it happen. Ryan Baste in the 73. The OSM teammates, I think, are going to start this one. And, well, maybe not. Oh, sorry. So, I gave some unnecessary wreck credit there to William Fox. This is actually going to be... Oh, boy. Well, we waited all night, and it hadn't happened yet. It finally strikes here inside of 10 laps to go. First instance of right rear netcode that we have just dreaded in these cars for months at this point. Baste goes around, collects his teammate Fox. Osbornoff makes a heck of a save. Oh, my goodness. Josh Robinson up into the catch fencing. A huge ride for the 17. Still up on the wall. He's going to go upside down. Jason Maines is involved. Daniel Eberhardt is involved. Shane Hochstetler, Ron Morris. I'm going to back this up once again for you. Let's see who else gets involved in this. You saw Jason Maines in the 1. There you see Baste spinning. Osbornoff, I'm pretty sure, makes a heck of a save right here. I have no idea how he keeps it going. Caleb Sibbett is involved in the 22. He bounces off the wall, keeps it going. Good grief. Another big incident. Late in the going at Talladega Superspeedway. And for some reason, these guys, I'm not sure what's going on, but just can't seem to get a green flag lap under our belt. Lap 35 is going to go on the board. And that one collects some more heavy hitters. Jason Maines, Daniel Eberhardt, Ryan Baste, and others. And it will shake up the field one more time. And I'm running out of things to talk about. I really am. I'm going to be honest.
Well, we're running out of drivers to talk about now.
Yeah, I feel like with as much shuffling as we've had, we've been able to talk about almost everyone in the field, which has been great. It's been great to give everyone some screen time, give everyone a chance to shine tonight. Certainly, that's been the case, but we're almost to the end of our driver notes, if you will, at this point. Certainly, a ton of storylines, but we're almost through all of them here, and I think the biggest storyline now is Zach Lima in his fully repaired number 12. Fresh off a fast repair, is just outside the top 10. Coming back to the front, Nash Brambilla, same thing. He's got his car repaired coming back to the front. Colton Salick is still in the top 20. Guys that we've seen have some problems tonight are still very much in this race. But it's become a race of attrition. I mean, it's going to be who has a fast repair left, who has a car that can limp across the start-finish line in the best condition. We have yet to test the 3 green white checkers. I think we may have done it a couple of times. We certainly haven't done it in several weeks. But we're getting to the point in the race here with inside 6 laps to go that I'm starting to consider the possibility we may need all of them, just the way these guys have started to lean on each other here late in the going here. So be prepared for that. We may get our one of our first test runs of that 3rd green white checkered attempt. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully these guys figure it out and get to running back how they were just a little bit ago. We saw they can do it, but it has gotten a little bit sloppy. Here inside what's going to be 5 laps to go. You still see Karosik on the apron on the flat. I'm not sure at this point with the caution laps that there's going to be a struggle for fuel, but there are several guys that are down on the flat. Trevor Osbornoff's down on the apron as well. And I don't know. It's going to be awfully close, but I figure with all the caution laps, they are not going to need gas, but these guys saving tells me it's going to become a struggle. As we get into green white checkered attempts, I guess. I thought they would have enough, but maybe not. So we will re-rack for you once again. Feels like I've said that a lot in the past 10 minutes or so. But Kenneth Stamper, that's exactly what he wants to see as the laps continue to tick down while he is on the point. And to his outside, still going to be Dylan Jones with Mullahan and Merck on row number 2. Austin Green, Steve Karosik, row 3. Osbornoff and Devin Ray on row 4. And then William Fox and Chris McCullough on row number 5. There's Lima. He's trapped on the bottom, but do not underestimate the abilities of Zach Lima to find a way to the outside line and get to the front of the field. Certainly one of the best at making quick, intentional moves, quick, confident moves to make his way to the front of the field and get it done when the time comes. So Still the same story as last green flag. A lot of guys up here that would really love a great performance tonight, and more so a victory. We obviously talked about Stamper. Talked a little bit about Jeff Merck. We talked about Jeff Merck all night long. And it's got to feel eternal for a couple of these guys up front. Stamper, Merck, Mullahan, knowing they're so close to a win, but these laps are taking forever to pass. And when you're in a cold stretch, I can tell you, these late restarts, they feel like they take hours to get back to the green flag and just get back underway so you can go get it done. Certainly, Merck would love that opportunity here as we get ready to go back under the green flag. So, Kenneth Stamper once again holds the field as we head for the tri-oval. It'll be 4 laps to go now. Any caution once we take this green flag is going to result in our first overtime attempt being triggered. So, here we go. Prepare to go the distance or maybe more than the distance. Will these guys finish this out right now? Or are we going to need to use some extra laps, some extra distance? Here we go. We're going to find out. Green flag is back in the air, and Stamper is off and running for turn 1. But Dylan Jones comes back to the outside. Jeff Merck, a healthy push from the 60 to the 44. Karosik trying to come with him. Bottom is stacked up in line, but the top starting to get a little bit of a run. Going to be 2 by 2. Off turn number 2, here comes Dylan Jones. It's going to be a drag race between Stamper and Jones as we hit the back straightaway. Oh, trouble again further back. Jason Maines and others are involved. And another caution. And once again, overtime in PGR Thursday night heat. This one started a little bit further up. It actually starts with Michael Clay, as he is behind Gabe Butler. Kind of starts to fade to the middle right here in front of Colton Salick. Oh, Eberhardt checked up. Not sure what the issue is on the 90. The 90 begins to check up.
Looks like he had some damage. I think he wasn't able to get up to speed. And then Michael Clay just nowhere to really go. Gets up and up, trying to avoid him, and just gets into the left front of Colton there.
Oh, Jason Maines. Kevin Freeze as well. I think it either just gotten back on the lead lap or maybe was trying to get back on the lead lap, but not to be, as he gets caught up in this incident here on the back straightaway. Jason Maines gets the worst of that one in the 1. Let's see if we can get one more look at it here. I'm trying to find a pretty good angle that shows you just how he did not have the room to get back up. You see Eberhardt there on the bottom of the 90. He does have some front end damage. Try to get a better look at this one. Here we go. So these guys are going to come whizzing by the outside camera here on the outside wall. There goes Clay to the outside as Eberhardt doesn't get going. Butler's stuck behind him. And as he comes up, he's good here, good here, good here. And unfortunately, he has to check up one more time. And I think he's going to get caught by the 9 of Colton Salick. I don't think there's a ton of contact, and there's not. He's already getting turned around by the time he even gets close to the left front of the 9, Colton Salick. Big ride in the 9. He gets some damage out of this as well. John Ward, Kenny McCullough scrambling out of the way. And another caution, where it's going to send us into overtime. So, here we go. It's going to be the first overtime attempt. We have 3 of them that we can use if we need them. First 2 are going to be normal green-white checkers. Third and final, like I said, if the wreck is in the money positions, the field will be frozen. We'll determine the winner based on time of caution. If not, we're going to race it out and find out a winner under green. All we got to do is make it 1 lap. Make it to the white flag. The race official, they can wreck as much as they want to, and often they do, between the start-finish line at the white flag and the next time we see them go by. Kenneth Stamper, Dylan Jones, John Mullahan, Jeff Merck, Austin Green, Steve Karosik, Devin Ray, Trevor Osbornoff, Chris McCullough, Zach Lima. Still your top 10. It has not changed. But I think this time Lima's going to be able to be on the top of the racetrack. He's going to have a teammate not far up in front of him. And, boy, when you put those Dale Cup boys together, they can move and shake. They can make it happen like not many others can. And they're going to be trying to do just that on this restart. Devin Ray, I don't think he'll be afraid to go with a run if he gets one as well. Same with Jeff Merck, but I think Merck is actually going to be third. He might be fourth. I'm not sure. It's either going to be him or Mullahan here on the bottom of row 2. if Merck is in front of Karosik, they're all running together. That's the group to watch. Karosik, Lima, Merck, I think is the group to keep an eye on right here. As we get ready for overtime attempt number 1, they're all going to be in the outside lane of the racetrack. And if anybody can go make that third lane work, it's that group of cars. Certainly they'll draw some takers with them when they go up there as well. Karosik's still down on the flat. Unsure if that's saving fuel or just running away from other cars. Playing it safe. Other cars back there. William Fox is on the flat as well in the apron. And so we get ready for green, white, checkered attempt number 1. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Dustin Carruthers making an appearance. Obviously rooting for his KSR teammate up front here, Kenneth Stamper. As well as Trevor Osbornoff running in position number 8. He would love to see one of his teammates get to victory lane tonight. And here we go. We're going to re-rack and try this once again. I say it's not hard to get back to the white flag and race this out, but boy, we have not been able to make it a lap since about halfway in this race, so it has quickly become a standstill here at Talladega as we labor through the last 20 laps of this race. They're going to get another shot at it right here. If they get to the white flag, the race is official. And all that talk about attempts 2 and 3, it will be moot, null, void. And we're going to crown a winner. Otherwise, re-rack, restack, see who's got a fast repair left, see who's got a good enough crew to get them back out on the racetrack and running up to speed to go get the payouts. Obviously, these front 6, 8, 10 guys hoping we just finish it out right here. We don't need those extra attempts. So let's see. Take one last look, one last deep breath, but take one look here at the field, how everybody's lined up. And you'll get an idea of how this is going to play out. Like I said, Merck, Karosik, Lima is the group to watch, I think. 4th, 6th, and 10th. And they are definitely going to draw some attention to that third line once they decide to go. And I don't think it's a matter of if. I think it's a matter of when with guys like that. They're not going to wait. They're going to go for it and hope it sticks. Beyond that, I think you got to look at maybe the McCullough group that's up here. You got Mullahan, Chris McCullough, Ron Morris. I think you got to look at Austin Green. He's third on the inside. He's a wild card in this. You got some OSM cars up here in the form of Devin Ray, William Fox. Trevor Osbornoff, obviously, with his teammate Kenneth Stamper leading the race. Would love to go up and get himself a nice payday as well. Into the tri-oval. Overtime attempt number 1 at Talladega here in the Thursday Night Heat Series. We're going to see if we get it done right here. Green flag is back in the air. Stamper off and running once again. 2 laps to go from Talladega.
Great even start there, but the bottom really has the line. Merck didn't get to Dylan like he wanted to. He's going to get to the back bumper now. Mullahan may clear up. If he gets it, he runs a little bit wide, but Dylan Jones is going to get to that quarter panel. Jeff Merck's going to give him a huge shove here out of the corner. He maybe look 3 wide. I don't think so. He does. He goes 3 wide. Dylan Jones goes to block it. He's going to get hung out in the middle. He's going to try and side draft Merck. They look for 4 wide coming. He comes back down in the middle. Merck is clear, but the bottom's going to roll. I don't know if that was the right move that early into the run. It really lets the bottom roll.
It does, and it's going to allow a couple cars to get clear. John Mullahan, Austin Green. Austin, I think, has to go before that line gets there if he wants any chance of winning this race. Contact between McCullough and Merck. There goes Austin to the outside. He's got Devin Ray behind him in the 19. Where did he come from? Kenneth Stamper leads, but here comes Austin Green. White flag from Talladega as Austin takes the lead. Here comes Karosik a little further back.
The Green Ghost out front, drops in front of Kenneth Stamper. I didn't really expect that. Maybe look for him to come back up, wrecking out back towards the back. Doesn't matter up front here. Austin Green's in control of this race right now. Merck's giving a great push to that middle line. Look for the middle line to run, but you got the 3 wide coming as well. They're going to be 3 by 3 entering 3.
Oh my goodness, it all comes down to this. Who can give the best push? Who can have the best run? Who's got the best car? 3 by 3 for the race lead. Who's going to win Thursday Night Heat? They start to slide. They spin. Who keeps it straight? Lima wrecks. No, now Lima's through it, and the Dale Cup boys come out of it by themselves. They wreck behind them, a shower of sparks. And out into the tri-oval, Zachary Lima, after everything he's gone through tonight, wins PGR Thursday Night Heat. It's a 1-2 for Dale Cup at Talladega.
What a crazy finish. Looks like Dylan Jones just pushes through in the middle line, gets Merck completely sideways, wrecks him, and a 1-2 finish for Dale Cup there. Pretty impressive.
We'll go back and take a look at what happened a little further back as they started to pile up in turns 3 and 4. As Austin Green was leading the bottom, Devin Ray, Jeff Merck were all right here. Yep, looks like Dylan Jones pushing through the 60. Obviously not anywhere that Jeff can go. Merck's going to catch Austin, get him sideways, and it all is on from there. Merck gets turned. Austin Green gets turned. Devin Ray, I'll tell you what, for a second I thought Devin Ray was just going to kind of wall the 27, keep going. But he actually loses handling of the car. Midway through the corner, bounces off the 12. Somehow the 12 keeps going. Green and Stamper wreck again. And here comes the field. McCullough flies through it. He's going to actually get credited for third place in this race. Nash Brambilla is sliding on the apron. Christian Sanford, Ryan Bass, John Ward, everybody behind these guys. Caleb Sibbett, Gabe Butler involved, Bo Tiffany involved there. Brambilla gets caught again. He was actually going to finish pretty well before he got hit by the 92. Dylan Jones scoots through it. Ron Morris, does he scoot through it? I believe he does in the 76. Oh boy. A messy finish to what was a great race. And at the end of it, a 1-2 for the Dale Cup boys. And, man, what an effort out of these guys tonight. Burning it down on the front stretch. He's still burning it down. Is Zach Lima. And I think he's going to burn this car all the way to the ground here on pit road. We'll let him celebrate for just a moment, and then we'll go get your top 3 for some interviews here in just 1 second. And got to imagine it's going to be a pretty happy Zach Lima when we get to the end of it. We're going to let him celebrate here for just 1 more second. I believe he's going to park it here on the start-finish line. What a win for Zach Lima. He gets through the last lap wreck, the adversity all race long, and gets the job done. All right, we've got all 3 of them. And so we will start with Christopher McCullough in the 3rd position tonight. And I will go grab him real quickly. We'll see what he's got to say about his efforts here tonight. Hey, Chris, it's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Wow, nothing short of chaos there at the end. You end up flying through the wreck to finish 3rd. Just kind of take me through how you're feeling right about now.
I'm just glad I was able to keep it going straight. I had that wheel cranked, and I was sawing on it just to try to finish in the money, and I happened to come 3rd. I got lucky there.
Well, yeah, and sometimes it is better to be lucky than good, especially on the last lap of this race. Take us through what it was like being back in the Xfinity Series cars tonight, kind of what was different and how it how it changed you guys' mindsets as drivers from what we're used to in the trucks.
Yeah, I like the Xfinity cars personally. This new damage model is a little different. I got into the wall early, and I couldn't steer it, and it blew the motor, so I had to tow when I lapped down. But I enjoy the Xfinity car. It's a little bit higher skill gap. You got to really time your bumps and really plan out your moves a little more. The trucks, you just ram it on in there. But it was fun. When we actually raced, there's a lot of people that need to do a little practice, but hopefully we can get some better racing in these cars going forward.
Well, yeah, certainly, and we heard some guys complain about temperatures tonight. Certainly, that was an issue. But you managed to get through it. Just kind of take me through the roller coaster of your race. I mean, it really was an up and down a night for a lot of guys, you included, and just kind of take us through from start to finish how you got to where you are.
Yeah, I started in the LCQ. I was starting in the back and drove up there, and then I had my teammate Kenny drift up and wreck me in that, so I was a little worried about going home there. But then I started in the back and just tried to take it easy for the first half of the race. And then I got caught up in a wreck. When I lapped down, I was able to get the lucky dog and then drive my way up there. Just a lot of luck went my way.
Yeah, it certainly favors you tonight. So you finished third. And while we've got you here for a second, anybody you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, I got to thank my team, McCullough Motorsports. I got to thank Matthew Baker for being RC and keeping these people civil while he does not act civil. And appreciate you for broadcasting. I really enjoy your broadcasting. And thank PGR for putting these races on every Thursday.
I certainly appreciate that, and we appreciate you talking to us. Congratulations on a great night for you, a third-place finish. Go enjoy it, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, sir.
That is Chris McCullough of McCullough Motorsports. I was going to have Baker stand by with Steve Karosik, but he is off doing race control duties, so we will go grab Steve ourselves here, see what he's got to say about his efforts tonight. Hey, Steve, it's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I got you.
Well, you guys somehow, some way get up there, avoid all the chaos at the end. You drive through the wreck at the end of the race, and you guys end up 1-2. Just kind of take me through how you're feeling.
Yeah, man. I'm tired. That was a long race, but like I said, it was worth it. So take it. It was just luck getting through it at the end. I thought I was gonna get it pinned up at the wall, and somehow I just came out of it. So my teammate, and we just cruised straight to it.
Yeah, you guys certainly did. And what is your guys' opinion of these Xfinity cars? We asked Chris McCullough. He enjoyed the racing tonight. It looked like you guys all enjoyed it, had some fun. So what are your thoughts as we go back to the B car for the first time?
I'm a fan. I think that everyone just has to adjust to it because it's brand new and it's completely different from what it used to be. So, as time goes on and everybody learns it, they'll get better.
Well, I certainly would agree with that. And you guys definitely looked very good, very polished tonight. You guys come home 1-2. While we have you here for a second place finish for you, anybody you want to thank?
Shout out to the team, Dilka, teammate Zach Lima, and shout out to Michael Tressaro for putting this on, and you guys in the booth gonna watch back the broadcast, and I think that's it. But I'm just happy we pulled it off. We haven't had much luck in these. Seems like we're always up there and we get taken out. So it's good to have one go our way.
Well, it certainly is, and you definitely have it go your way tonight. Congrats on that second place finish. Go enjoy it. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Steve Karosik in the 27 tonight. What a great effort for them. But let's go second to his teammate tonight, Zach Lima. We're going to get him up here, see what he's got to say about tonight's racing. Hey, Zach, it's Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
Well, what a chaotic race that was for you and for everybody else. But, first of all, kind of take us through your race. We saw you go to the back about halfway in. You got involved in a wreck, but you drive through the wreck on the last lap, keep the car straight, and you come home with a victory. Tell us how you did it.
Yeah, it was just average race. Qualified near the front. I was just working the field with Mercs, and like you said, got wrecked, and just with all the wrecks happening all night, somehow made it back up the front, and I survived a lot of wrecks. I don't know how, and somehow won the race.
Well, yeah, and you definitely did that. And I'll tell you what, you, Steve, Merck, and several others certainly looked very polished in this Xfinity car. What did you guys do to prepare for this race, and how is it that you guys look just so much better than the rest of the field tonight?
We did absolutely nothing to prepare. It was just sheer natural talent and skill. We don't even practice. We race once a week.
Oh, well, all right. Hey, blunt, short, to the point. It certainly, it does look like you practice, but hey, props. If that's the case, you guys definitely had the field on lockdown tonight. You guys come home in first and second. So while we have you here, just briefly, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, got to thank the team, tonight, racing with Korosek, Niegels, Merckx, and Gabe Butler. It was a lot of fun, and thanks for doing the broadcast, man. We're definitely going to watch it back, and we appreciate it.
All right, well, I appreciate you talking to us. Congrats on that win. Go enjoy it with your teammates, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, sir.
Zach Lima with quite possibly the boldest interview we've had in my time doing these, but maybe some sarcasm sprinkled in there from Mr. Lima. But nonetheless, he comes away with the race victory tonight. What an effort out of the Dale Cup boys. They finally are back on top. It seems like they've had bad luck. Tonight, though, it goes their way. They win the race. So we'll get you your race results here just briefly as Lima comes away with the victory tonight in PGR Thursday Night Heat. Steve Karosik in second, Chris McCullough in third. Dylan Jones goes fourth for the Mains boys with Ron Morris in fifth. Great finish for him. Christian Sanford recovers to finish sixth. Evan Ray in seventh. Ryan Bass rounds out your money spots tonight in eighth position. John Ward finishes ninth. Josh Watson rounds out your top 10.
In 11th, you've got Bo Tiffany, 12th, Caleb Sibbett, Jeff Merckett, 13th, Steele Lankford in 14th, Mike Davenport in 15th, Wade Fox in 16th, Trevor Gogolia in 17th, Austin Green in 18th, Ken Stanford 19th, John Mulhan 20th.
Trevor Osmernoth goes 21st tonight with Nash Brambilla in 22nd. Dylan Blackwell finishes 23rd with Richard Elliott in 24th. Shane Hochstetler finishes 25th. Gabe Butler in 26th. Danny Barnes in 27th. Daniel Eberhardt 28th. Josh Robinson 29th. And Kenny McCullough rounding out your top 30.
And in 31st, you got Colton Salick. He had a great run. Just some unfortunate wrecks going on around him, causing him to get caught up in it. Same with Jason Maines in 32nd. Chad Ross, 33rd. David Sheets in 34th. Kevin Freese never could really recover after that first wreck in 35th. Michael Clay in 36th. Heath Joe, 37th. 38th, you got Jesse Sperling and Andrew Navarro in 39th. Sheriff Clampert, 40th. And our last three drivers, Michael Triscaro in 41st, Cody Nagels 42nd, Mark Vondell in 43rd.
Well, what a night it was. We're back in the Xfinity Series cars the first time. This one certainly did not disappoint. Got a little bit sloppy at the end, but regardless, it was another great finish. Zach Lima, Steve Karosik, the 1-2 finish for Dale Cup, and what a night it was overall. Hope to see more of these cars coming up here in the future, and boy, we saw a glimpse of what it really can be. Some great racing tonight. These guys put on a show at times during this race, and it was a great one. Baker, any final thoughts before we leave this audience for the night?
Yeah, it's just going to take some getting used to with this car. I think we could really put on some good races. Struggled a little bit. We had some three-wide racing, some great racing up front. Just unfortunate how it ended, but still a lot of fun to call there, even with the issues that I had.
Well, absolutely it was, and we certainly appreciate you joining us once again while also doing race control. Know how stressful that can be, but nonetheless, it was a great night, and appreciate everybody for coming out and watching if you did tune in with us. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you chiming in tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the product as much as I enjoyed calling it for you. My name is Dawson Wise. That's all we've got for you tonight here on the Ghost Racing Network. For my partner, Matthew Baker, we are going to say goodnight.